Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. I pay homage to my teacher, Luku Swamin Wahanse. Sadhu, sadhu. So, if you can remember the Bodhirājakumāra Sutta, can somebody explain what we learned so far? From Bodhirājakumāra Sutta, the Prince Bodhi. If you explain it well, then I will continue teaching the rest of the sutta.
Bante, I will try in the beginning, but some other Kalyanamitta may want to continue right after that. I think Bante, in the beginning of the sutta, it was said about the Prince Siddhartha, how after he went forth, to search for the truth, and then he
How did the discussion begin? Like, where was the Buddha now? Like, where is he now? And who else with him?
I thought he went to Alarakarama and Udakarama Kutta. That's in the beginning, Bante?
In the beginning, no. There's a different story.
Okay. So also is it about the Prince Bodhi then, Bante?
Yes.
He was just about to open a new hall, and then he invited
not new hall, it's his brand new mansion.
Brand new.
Palace.
Yes, brand new. And then he invited the Supreme Buddha to bless the place first before he puts into the use. Yes, I think maybe some other Kalyanamitta can continue.
Okay, so he invited the Buddha and the monks.
I remember this.
Yes, please.
I remember for some parts. So he then said to Supreme Buddha that he thinks the path to enlightenment is through hardship. It's not pleasure. It's basically suffering. It's through suffering. But then Supreme Buddha explained to him that it's not this way. It can be through milder path, also the way to enlightenment. And then Supreme Buddha explained his own experience, that he thought the same and he went through some suffering. Like he actually gave himself a lot of hardship to achieve enlightenment, but then realized that it's not the only path and came to moderate path.
Okay, so that means Prince invited the Buddha and just after the invitation he kept asking questions?
Yes. Then
so he didn't even give any food to the Buddha and monks?
Oh yes, he gave.
So why do you forget about Prince Bodhi's generosity?
Yeah, he prepared he actually put some rock for Supreme Buddha, special rock. And then after they opened the conversation, he gave food. Yes, yeah.
He poured delicious food with his own hand, right? To the Mahasangha headed by the Buddha. And once the Buddha and the monks finished eating, he sat down near the Buddha, right?
Yeah.
And then asked the question, as Nina explained. He had this opinion that happiness is only to be gained by a painful path, right? That's a very common belief. That's why lots of ascetics torturing their body, giving pain to the body, expecting a happy results, right, in the future. And Buddha said, and then Buddha wanted to explain his life before enlightenment. And Buddha explained how much pain he gave to his body, right? Practicing self-mortification, but still giving that much of pain, the extreme pains to the body did not enlighten him, did not awaken him, right? Did not give any happy results. And then Buddha explained, finally he found out about breathing meditation, like he recollected his childhood, how he practiced breathing meditation and jhanas, and then he realized, okay, this is the path. Let me practice this path. This may be the path. So then he practiced jhanas, he practiced breathing meditation, but it was a pleasant path, right? Meditation, like first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana, all pleasant, happy, joyous achievements. So he was not afraid. He thought, okay, even though these things are very pleasant and happy, they are not unwholesome. They don't do any harm to me or others, right? That's how he wanted to prove that this noble eightfold path, the pleasant path, but it gives happy results, right? So happy results can be gained by a happy path. That was the main topic of the sutta. And then he explained how he gave up self-mortification, how he attained enlightenment after that by following the noble eightfold path, and then kind of a detailed story about his Dhamma propagation after that. Then he was reluctant to teach the Dhamma, wasn't he? Then what happened when he was reluctant to teach the Dhamma? What happened?
I think that Brahma Sahampati, was it?
Brahma Sahampati invited the Buddha to teach the Dhamma.
Yes.
Right? And then Buddha, with Buddha Chakkhuna, Avaloketi, using the eye of the Buddha surveyed the entire the world system, and Buddha saw there are some beings, even though they are lay people, even though they are monks and nuns, they still have the capacity to understand this deep Dhamma. So he said, Aparuta tesang amatassa dwara. I open the doors to deathlessness. I have decided to teach the Dhamma. Those who have ears, come to me to listen to it with faithful hearts. That's how he started teaching the Dhamma. And now, but there is no, still he doesn't have anybody to teach in front of him. Now, today we are going to learn how he found people to teach the Dhamma, to share his amazing understanding about the truth of life. Okay? So let's go to the sutta where we left off. Okay, be ready to read. Okay, we are there. Can everybody see?
Yes, Bhante.
So after the invitation of the Brahma Sahampati, Buddha decided to teach the Dhamma. Let's see what happens after that. Who is going to share the Dhamma? Who is going to read? Any volunteers?
Bhante, I can read.
Who is this?
Arjuna.
Okay, Arjuna.
No, Buddha.
Oh, Buddha.
Then it occurred to me, who should I teach first of all? Who will quickly understand the teaching? Then it occurred to me that Aladakālāma is astute, competent, clever, and has long had little dust in his eyes. Why don't I teach him first of all? He'll quickly understand the teaching. But a deity came to me and said, Sir, Bodhirājakumāra passed away 7 days ago, and knowledge and vision arose in me. Bodhirājakumāra passed away 7 days ago. Then it occurred to me, this is a great loss for Bodhirājakumāra. If he had learned the teachings, if he had heard the teaching, he would have understood it quickly. Then it occurred to me.
Let me add something here. Do you remember who Bodhirājakumāra was?
Yes, one of the teachers that the Bodhisattva went to before the enlightenment.
Yeah, when he was Buddha to be, he went searching for famous teachers, and Bodhirājakumāra was one of them. Did he teach the path to enlightenment to the Buddha to be?
No.
No, he didn't know the path to enlightenment, but he taught about some jhana practices, right?
Yes,
So Buddha to be developed all of those and realized that was not the path. But he was the Buddha was extremely grateful, like and thankful. And see, as soon as he attained enlightenment, as soon as he became the fully enlightened Buddha, he remembered everybody who helped him. Right? So he wanted to help. He wanted to give the true path to enlightenment to one of his teachers in his he found so, but unfortunately he passed away 7 days ago, and he took rebirth in a very high Brahma world because he made powerful good karma by practicing jhanas, but he didn't know anything about the path to enlightenment. So with that good karma of meditation, he took rebirth in a higher Brahma world, and there is no access. The Dhamma cannot be communicated with some Brahmas because of the subtle nature of their the concentration. It's like they are in a deep sleep for hundreds and thousands of years, no contact with with other beings, and but that is not a permanent life. Once that jhana, the karma of jhana is over, they will be reborn somewhere else, maybe in hell, maybe in animal world, ghost world, human world, heavenly world, we don't know. Any place is possible, but unfortunately he missed the opportunity. Maybe he's still in this cycle of rebirth somewhere, we don't know. Maybe he's still in that Brahma world, um, we don't know, but he missed the opportunity. That's why but when Buddha wanted to teach him, first he realized that he had the he had little dust in his eyes, means it's a kind of a phrase to it implies it's an implication. The true meaning is that he had very little defilements in his mind. That's why Buddha decided to teach him first, thinking that he would quickly understand the Dhamma. But unfortunately, even though he had little defilements in his mind, he has already been born somewhere else, far away from the Dhamma. So that's about Bodhirājakumāra. Okay, Arjuna?
Then it occurred to me, who should I teach first of all? Who will quickly understand the teaching? Then it occurred to me, that Uddaka, son of Rama, is astute, competent, clever, and has long had little dust in his eyes. Why don't I teach him first of all? He'll quickly understand the teaching. But a deity came to me and said, Sir, Uddaka, son of Rama, passed away just last night.
Now, can you see how these devas always reading the mind of the Buddha?
Yes, ma'am.
When Buddha thinks something, the deva will know that. So they are around the Buddha because the gods invited the Buddha to come to the human world, to be born as a human baby and attain enlightenment. Because before Buddha came to the human world, before he was born in the human world, he was among those gods in the heavenly world. So now after Buddha attained enlightenment, all those devas are around him. He's surrounded by devas, and he will quickly know what Buddha was thinking. And with his own knowledge, also Buddha realizes things. So he then realized that another teacher who met on the way, Buddha met him, Uddaka, and he also a very good meditator. And what happened to him? He passed away.
Passed away last night.
Last night, and then and Buddha thought, oh, this is a great loss for Uddaka, right? If we had heard the Dhamma, he would have understood it quickly. Oh, very unlucky. So this is the same. It's the same thing can happen to any one of us, like any human who are living at present. If they get to listen to the Dhamma, they would understand it and they would develop wholesome qualities. But if they don't get to listen to the Dhamma, it will be a great loss for these human beings. They will die without using that ability, right? With that ability, they have that capacity to develop mindfulness, to develop wisdom, to follow the Noble Eightfold Path, to develop the mind, to see things clearly. But without using those abilities, they will die. So it can happen to any of us, any of other human beings, the same way that happened to these other people. So we need to take this seriously. We shouldn't think this. We shouldn't take this for granted. This opportunity is extremely rare. Any other Kalyanamitas to continue with?
I can read, Bhante.
Okay, Rob.
Then it occurred to me, who should I teach first of all? Who will quickly understand the teaching? Then it occurred to me, the group of 5 medicants were very helpful to me. They looked after me during my time of resolute striving. Why don't I teach them first of all? Then it occurred to me, where are the group of 5 medicants staying these days? With clairvoyance that is purified and superhuman, I saw that the group of 5 medicants were staying near Benares in the deer park at Isipatana. So when I stayed in Uruvela, as long as I wished, I set out for Benares.
Okay, let me pause here. Rob, do you know anything about these five monks, group of the 5 monks?
Yeah, I think that's when he was really putting himself through pains and sufferings and, that kind of program. I think they were one of the early groups that he was with, putting himself through a lot of sufferings.
So, yes. And their goal was to attain enlightenment after the Buddha, to be attain enlightenment by following the self-mortification, right?
Self-mortification, yeah. And I think they were very disappointed when Buddha gave up on the program.
Yeah, correct. That's why they left the Buddha and came to this place called Benares in the deer park at Isipatan. That's far away from the place where Buddha attained enlightenment. So they left the Buddha and went to a far away place and they started living by themselves, right?
Right.
So now, but see now, in ordinary life, if friends left us, right? We don't want to think about them again. We think, oh, they were very unfair. When I was working very hard, they left me, they gave up me. I don't want to go there, right? We may normally ordinary people think like that. And when they went there, like Buddha to be was alone in the deep forest. But still the group of 5 monks went away, right? They rejected the Buddha. They said he has he has taken the wrong path and he's not going to attain enlightenment. There is no use of living here. Let's go and follow our own path, right?
Right.
But now Buddha wants to help them. That's the limitless compassion. Even though these monks left him, he is not thinking about that now. Buddha is not thinking about that. And Buddha doesn't want to punish them like other religious teachers would do. There are no punishments in the life of the Buddha. There are no anger. There is no hatred. You know, it's just limitless compassion.
Right. That's impressive.
Yeah, that's a beautiful quality that Buddha had. Now he's going to help them. Okay. Then something else happens on the way before Buddha meets with the five monks. Can Rob please continue?
While I was traveling along the road between Gaya and Bodh Gaya, the Ajivaka ascetic Upaka saw me and said, "Reverend, your faculties are so very clear, and your complexion is pure and bright. In whose name have you gone forth, Reverend? Who is your teacher? Whose teaching do you believe in?" I replied to Upaka in verse, "I am the champion, the knower of all, unsullied in the midst of all things. I've given up all, freed in the ending of craving. When I know for myself, who should I follow? When I know for myself, who should I follow? I have no teacher. There is no one like me. In the world with its gods, I have no counterpart. For in this world, I am the perfected one. I am the supreme teacher. I alone am fully awakened, cooled, extinguished. I am going to the city of Kazi to roll forth the wheel of Dhamma. In this world that is so blind, I'll beat the deathless drum. According to what you claim, Reverend, you ought to be the infinite victor. The victors are those who, like me, have reached the ending of defilements. I have conquered bad qualities, Upaka. That's why I am a victor." When I had spoken, Upaka said, "If you say so, Reverend." Shaking his head, he took a wrong turn and left.
Okay, so that's a very kind of unfortunate thing. But he met a fully enlightened Buddha now. I think, is he the first human being to meet a fully enlightened Buddha? I think so, right?
Yes, Bhante, I think. Yes.
No, but before Buddha start traveling, two merchants came
Two
to
merchants, yeah.
milk some
Balika and
honey and some food, right? So this is and they went for refuge to the Buddha, but this Upaka, he didn't understand that a fully enlightened Buddha was standing in front of him. So he had some conversation, but the beautiful thing is that, like Upaka, and he was kind of a wanderer. He was practicing some things to attain liberation, thinking that, like, he was not a lay person though, but he went to a village of hunters, and he finally gave up his religious life and wanted to marry the daughter of the leader of the hunters. See, so he went back to the lay life. He got married, but when he was suffering in the lay life, he remembered this amazing teacher who he met one day a long time ago, and he recollected the Buddha's words, right? There is no one like me in the world with its gods. I have no counterpart. I am the supreme teacher. I am alone, fully awakened, cooled, and extinguished. You know, um, so these words were resonating in his mind. And then after some time he heard, oh, that was the Buddha I met that day. And now people have started following his teachings. So one day he wanted to leave the family and go back to the Buddha. Actually he went back to the Buddha. He became a monk, and he became an enlightened monk, this Upaka. So, and his former wife, the daughter of the leader of the hunters, also became a nun, attained enlightenment. And they had a son, Upaka, and that wife had a son, and that son also became a monk and attained enlightenment. Isn't that a beautiful story? Yeah. So this is about that Upaka. But in this occasion, he didn't realize that it was a fully enlightened Buddha, and he didn't understand the importance. So so Buddha didn't say anything to him after that, and Buddha started traveling again. Okay, another Kalyanamitta to share the Dhamma, the word of the Buddha. These are the direct words of the Buddha, just came from own lips of the Buddha. Now Buddha is explaining this thing to Prince Bodhi. I think some of the Kalyanamitas know some stories about this life of the Buddha. Maybe there are some Kalyanamitas who haven't heard these things before. So it's very important to understand how these things happened, and how we have this Dhamma today, all these things. So it's direct words of the Buddha.
I will try one day this time. Traveling stage by stage, I arrived at Benares and went to see the group of the 5 mendicants in the deer park at Isipatana. The group of the 5 mendicants saw me coming off in the distance and stopped each other, saying, "Here comes the ascetic Gautama. He's so indulgent. He strayed from the struggle and returned to indulgence. We should not bow to him or rise for him or receive his bowl and robe, but we can set out a seat. He can sit if he likes." Yet,
Did they want to respect the Buddha?
no, they did not.
No, they didn't want to respect the Buddha. They didn't actually know that he was enlightened.
Yet, as I drew closer, the group of the 5 mendicants were unable to stop themselves as they had agreed. Some came out to greet me and receive my bowl and robe. Some spread out a seat, while others set out water for washing my feet. But they still addressed me by name and as Reverend.
Actually, they addressed by the name Gautama and saying friend. They said friend Gautama.
Friend.
Yeah.
So I said to them, "Mendicants, don't address me by name as friend. The realized one is perfected, a fully awakened Buddha. Listen up, mendicants. I have achieved the deathless. I shall instruct you. I shall teach you the Dhamma. By practicing as instructed, you will soon realize the supreme end of the spiritual path in this very life. You will leave having achieved with your own insight the goal for which gentlemen rightly go forth from the lay life into the homelessness." But they said to me, "Reverend Gautama, friend Gautama, even by that conduct, that practice, that grueling work, you did not achieve any superhuman oh, sorry, even that with that conduct, that practice, that grueling work you did, you did not achieve any superhuman distinction in knowledge and vision worthy of the noble ones. How could you have achieved such a state now that you've become indulgent, stray from the struggle and fallen into indulgence?
So now you understand how strong their opinion is?
Yes, Bhante.
They think, okay, they want to see somebody with a very skinny body, right? With a pale face, eating very little, walking with a walking stick, and that is the kind of person who has attained enlightenment. They want to see that, because enlightenment, liberation should come through a self-modification, come through the path of torturing the body. But here they see a beautiful man, handsome man with 32 great marks on the body, right? And walking in the like a brave lion, and looks very healthy. So they didn't want to believe that this was an enlightened being, right? So they said, you know, you friend Gautama, you were practicing very hard and torturing the body, but still you didn't understand anything. Now you are very handsome, you look very nice, very beautiful. How come you attain now? Because the happiness is to be gained by a painful path. Now you have come to a very happy, pleasant path. We don't believe that you are an enlightened being. So that's what they are telling here. Any other Kalyanamitas to continue reading the word of the Buddha?
I can try to read Bhante.
Okay, Mani.
So I said to them, the realized one has not become indulgent, strayed from the struggle, and fallen into indulgence. The realized one is perfected, a fully awakened Buddha. Listen up, mendicants. I have achieved the deathless. I shall instruct you. I will teach you the Dhamma. By practicing as instructed, you will soon realize the supreme end of the spiritual path in this very life. You will live having achieved with your own insight the goal for which gentlemen rightly go forth from the lay life to homelessness. But for a second time they say to me, Reverend Gautama, you've fallen into indulgence. So for the second time I say to them, the realized one has not become indulgent. But for a third time they say to me, Friend Gautama, you've fallen into indulgence. So I said to them, Mendicants, have you ever known me to speak like this before? No, sir.
That's the time they said Bhante instead of friend. Okay, 3 times they said friend Gautama. And when Buddha asked, okay monks, have you ever known me to speak like this before? That I have attained enlightenment, I have achieved the deathless, I shall instruct you, I will teach you the Dhamma, listen to me. Have I ever said this before? Then it was eye-opening. And they said, no, Bhante. That's the very first time they addressed the Buddha saying, Bhante. Okay, now they are ready, right? This is a beautiful occasion. This is now happening for the first time on earth among human beings, and they are going to listen to the words of the Buddha. Now Buddha is going to deliver the very first discourse to these monks. And this is the beginning. Now when they said no Bhante, when they addressed the Buddha saying Bhante, that was the opening. And now they are ready to accept the teaching. Please keep reading.
The realized one is perfected, a fully awakened Buddha. Listen up, mendicants. I have achieved the deathless. I shall instruct you. I will teach you the Dhamma. By practicing as instructed, you will soon realize the supreme end of the spiritual path in this very life. You will live having achieved with your own insight the goal for which gentlemen rightly go forth from the lay life to homelessness. I was able to persuade a group of 5 mendicants. Then sometimes I advised 2 mendicants, while the other 3 went for alms. Then those 3 would feed all 6 of us with what they brought back. Sometimes I advised 3 mendicants, while the other 2 went for alms. Then those 2 would feed all 6 of us with what they brought back. As the group of 5 mendicants were being advised and instructed by me like this, they soon realized the supreme end of the spiritual path in this very life. They live having achieved with their own insight the goal for which gentlemen rightly go forth from the lay life to homelessness.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, so these are the first human beings in this era to attain the stages of enlightenment, right? Vani, do you remember the place that this fortunate thing took place?
Yes, Isipatana.
Isipatana. Yeah, we went there to the exact place. And so what is the discourse that Buddha taught there?
Dhammacakkappavattana, Bhante.
Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. And that was that we saw the foundation of this stupa,
Yes, Lord.
Emperor Ashoka built.
Yes.
And after the very first discourse, Dhammacakkappavattana, who attained the first stage of enlightenment?
One of the first one is the one of I cannot remember the name.
Kondanya Bhante.
Kondanya, yes.
Kondanya Bhante became the very first human being to attain the first stage of enlightenment. But don't forget, even though there was one human being from the human world, there were countless devas realized the Dhamma, attain enlightenment, stages of enlightenment with that very first discourse of the Buddha. And that is clearly mentioned in the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. Okay, so that sutta is in the Samyutta Nikaya. And do you remember another kind of big stupa beside that?
Dhammik Stupa, Bhante? Is that?
Dhammika stupa, yes. Dhammika stupa. What happened there?
Dhammik Stupa. Is that Prince Yama? Prince Yama.
No, Prince Yama is a different one beside Dhammik Stupa.
Okay, so what happened here where we saw the foundation of the stupa? Just the foundation?
Yeah.
There, Anya Kondanya Bhante became a Sotapanna. That is where Buddha gave the very first discourse. And then all the 5 monks, Buddha took all the 5 monks a little bit away from that place and then taught the Anatta Lakkana Sutta, the second sutta, about the characteristics of non-self. And there all the monks attained enlightenment. So that was the fortunate moment that Buddha was the only Arahant at that time. And now there are 5 Arahants like the Buddha attain the same understanding, right? 5 Arahants as human beings. So, and there King Ashoka, Emperor Ashoka built Dhammika Stupa. So fortunately, some of the Kalyana Mittas got the opportunity to see those sacred sites and worship. I think Arjuna didn't get to see those sacred sites yet.
No, Bhante, I didn't get the opportunity to see those sites yet.
So Corona came and now we don't know when those sacred sites are going to be open. So it's very rare, these opportunities. We don't know when we are going to miss them, right?
Yes,
Bhante, but next week we can share the picture. I can send some pictures to Bhante and share.
Oh, yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I have this the photo gallery, the picture book of our tour, the pilgrimage, and I have this always with the other table here.
maybe one thing, Bhante, just a question about I see the word deathless that's appeared several times. I'll beat the deathless drum. It's come up several times. Maybe you can say a few words about
you know what, when I saw that word, I wanted to explain that, but I forgot. And now,
right.
Rob asked the exact same question, right?
I won't let you forget.
So, yeah, deathless is a synonym for Nibbana.
Okay.
Because the people who attain Nibbana are not going to be reborn. That means they are not going to die again. So it's a synonym for Nibbana, deathless.
Okay.
Okay. Amata, Pali word is amata madigatang. I have achieved deathlessness. I have achieved deathless state. If somebody is going to be reborn again and again, that person is going to die again and again. If somebody has stopped rebirth, that person is not going to die again. That means he has achieved the deathless state. Isn't that beautiful?
Right.
Don't you like to attain that state?
Yeah, I definitely want to avoid death.
Okay. Then you had to avoid rebirth.
Thank you, Bhante.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Bhante, there's a link sent to you. If Bhante would like to share today, some pictures of our pilgrimage.
Can we see that?
It's in the chat box, Bhante, if you check the chat box. And Bhante can share on the screen.
Uh-huh. Oh, this is from Masapu website, huh? Oh, this is a nice, we can do a nice program.
For the pilgrim, maybe next week, but we can, do this. It's the whole set, yes. Kalyanamita shared that with me just now.
I didn't know these photos exist.
So, so you can share it through the screen so friends can rejoice as well.
I am watching alone. Okay.
Those were the days, Bhante, when we were young, Bhante.
When you are young. That's true. So can you see something?
Yes, we can see that, Bante. Unfortunately, Reem cannot see because she's on the phone.
Welcome to India, Buddha's land. There is Aina. Oh, who took these pictures? Lakkadeva Bante.
Yes.
Wow, what is this place?
Karmasadhamma, Bante. The Mahasatipatthana.
This is where the most famous sutta of all, the Mahasatipatthana Sutta was preached by the Buddha. This place. You see this place with this. Arjuna, can you see? This is where Buddha,
Sadhu.
this is where Buddha was sitting while he was preaching the Mahasatipatthana Sutta, the greater discourse on the mindfulness. We were practicing breathing meditation because of that sutta. The people are worshipping that place. Oh, I feel like I want to go again.
Yes, please, Bante. All together we go to Sirpada Mountain, Bante.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is Kamma Sudhamma. These are the relics of the Buddha. That's amazing. Oh, these are the Kapilavastu relics.
Yes, from Kapila, Pipali Cave, Bante. Pipali Cave.
Paparava Stupa.
Pepperava.
The relatives of the Buddha received a portion of the relics after the passing away of the Buddha, and they placed those relics in this casket. This is a stone casket, and the stupa is still there in the city of Kapilavatthu, and we went to see the stupa. And this casket was found by the archaeologists during excavation, and now it's in the museum, National Museum. That's amazing. Oh, this is unbelievable.
What is that, Bante?
So we learn all the time about
this is the place where Bante ascend to the Sawatinsa. This one Sawati, Bante.
Yeah, this is Savatthi.
This
is the Buddha's kuti, I think, in Savatthi. Jetavanarama.
Yes.
We read all the time about at the monastery of Anathapindika. This is the monastery of Anathapindika. This is Jeta's park. This is I think Angulimala.
Angulimala
Stupa. Where Angulimala Bante chanted Angulimala Paritta. Is this the palace of Anathapindika?
Yes, that's his palace, and there are storage of gold storage of where he stored his gold.
He was one of the faithful devotees of the Buddha. This is where he stored gold coins, and from these chambers he filled the gold coins to the carts and took to the Jeta's park and led them on the ground, and that's how he purchased the land for the monastery, Anathapindika's monastery. Yeah, this is the okay, now entering Jetavana monastery. You see this kind of a stage with this decoration. That is Arjuna. That is the Damshabha Mandapaya. That is this whole area is the Dhamma hall of Jetavana Rama. Where this stage is the place where Buddha was sitting while teaching the Dhamma.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
That's amazing. This is where Buddha. This is the foundation, the remains of the Buddha's kuti. This is where a royal prince who gave up the lay life and became an enlightened being, the teacher of all beings, all Brahmas, gods, humans. This is where he lived, in a teeny tiny room as his kuti.
Sadhu, sadhu.
You know, he was a royal from a royal family. He had everything, but he realized the true happiness is not in these luxuries, in these material things. This is here where Buddha slept. This is where Buddha meditated. This is the kuti. And this is the area of the Dhamma hall. When you read suttas, the majority of suttas starts with at Savatthi in Jeta's park at Anathapindika's monastery. This is where he taught thousands of discourses. The monks were sitting in front of the Buddha, close to the Buddha, and the lay people, thousands of lay people were sitting behind the monks. What is this? This is actually the well. Buddha used to drink water from this well. You can still see water. These are the kutis of other arahants. Arahant Ananda Bhante, these are the foundation, okay, remains. Arahant Ananda Bhante, Arahant Sariputta Bhante lived in these kutis. So Bhantes are worshipping these kutis. This is amazing. Don't you feel like you want to go again?
Yes, Bhante.
I'm waiting to go too.
So Rob, will you join us?
We'll bring Rob together with us.
It looks nice and warm there, Bante. It looks nice and warm.
Very warm, yeah. Sometimes some people. Okay, this is the place Buddha practiced walking meditation.
Walking meditation, Changkam.
And the Emperor Ashoka built a monument on that area to mark the place of the Buddha's walking meditation. This is that place. This is the Ananda Bodhi tree. Buddha encouraged Ananda Bhante to plant this Bodhi tree, and now it's available. Very old, more than 2,300 years old. It was planted when the Buddha was alive. Ananda Bodhi tree.
Bhante, this Bodhi tree, this one is taken from the Bodh Gaya, right? The original stem.
Original Bodhi tree, yes. So that is Savatthi. So very beautiful, and we worship all those sacred sites of the Buddha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So like that, the birthplace of the Buddha, enlightened place of the Buddha, and there are many places. We can do a program one day.
That's a great idea, Bante. Sadhu. But Bante, we're supposed to show friends the Dhammika Sutta and
Oh, I forgot that. I don't know how I can find. Oh yeah, if you can see that, that's amazing.
Bhante,
Yeah.
can I share the map of India? I'm curious to see where the places are.
Okay.
I'll try to share. Can you see?
Oh yeah. Can you find Varanasi, Bodh Gaya?
Varanasi. I think that's kind of the east somewhere. Varanasi. I think I have to zoom in a little bit. If I can do it, let me zoom in. No, I'm not very familiar with the Varanasi is in the east, right?
On the 11 o'clock. No.
Sorry?
On the angle of 11 o'clock, I saw it.
Up here? Oh, yes, you're right. Let me zoom in on it.
Yeah.
There's Varanasi. So it's near Varanasi.
There. On the 9 o'clock. There.
Ah, here.
Down to the right. Right. Yeah.
Agak telat ini.
Oh, yeah. Maybe.
Okay. All right.
Can you see something?
Yes.
So I found the Buddha's enlightenment place. Bodh Gaya. This is where
Bodh Gaya.
Huh?
Yes, Sadhu.
Yes, amazing. You see this the high kind of monument, that is where Buddha attained enlightenment. You see the Bodhi tree beside that. Sitting under that Bodhi tree, Buddha attained enlightenment. See how many flowers, colorful flowers. This is near the Bodhi tree. Very near. This is the Bodhi tree where Buddha attained enlightenment. In this sutta, we were learning about Buddha explained. Buddha did self-modification and then gave up that extreme and started meditating. The breathing meditation. This is the exact place where he was practicing breathing meditation. Can you hear?
Yes.
Yes, Bante, we can hear clear.
The exact place where Buddha was practicing breathing meditation. So this is the Bodhi tree, and we are going to decorate the wall around the Bodhi tree with these 1,000-petal flowers. Can you believe that we went to these places? This is the root. This is the root of the Bodhi tree. You see this place? This is where exactly Buddha was sitting.
Vajrasana.
Yeah, the diamond throne. Oh, we should do a whole program about these places.
Yes, one day we have to announce to people to come and look.
Yeah. So we are offering flowers. This is inside the vihara. There is an amazing, this is the vihara. There is an amazing Buddha statue inside the vihara. This is that statue. Arjun, can you see?
Yes, Bhante, yes, I can see.
Okay, may this merit help you to go one day to these amazing places. This is the exact place where all the Buddhas attain enlightenment. All the Buddhas attain enlightenment on this exact place. Now you went to India, came back to Canada. Okay.
Many merits, Bhante. But let's do that program soon. I can feel like it's a pilgrimage for me.
Okay, so after that, of the Buddha is the Prince Bodhi asked a question. We are back to the Bodhirājakumāra Sutta. So he was fully convinced that Buddha attained enlightenment through a pleasant path, happy path. This is his question. When he had spoken, Prince Bodhi said to the Buddha, Bhante, when a mendicant has the realized one as trainer, how long would it take for them to realize the supreme end of the spiritual path in this very life? Don't you have this question? How long will it take for me to understand enlightenment? Right? How long? When can I attain enlightenment? So that's the question he asked. So then Buddha is replying. Another Kalyanamitta to read from there?
I can read Bhante.
Okay.
Well then, Prince, I'll ask you about this in return, and you can answer as you like. What do you think, Prince? Are you skilled in the art of wielding a hooked goad while riding an elephant? Yes, sir. What do you think, Prince? Suppose a man were to come along thinking, Prince Bodhi knows the art of wielding a hooked goad while riding an elephant. I'll train in that art under him. If he's faithless, he wouldn't achieve what he could with faith. If he's unhealthy, he wouldn't achieve what he could with good health. If he's devious or deceitful, he wouldn't achieve what he could with honesty and integrity. If he's lazy, he wouldn't achieve what he could with energy. If he's stupid, he wouldn't achieve what he could with wisdom. What do you think, Prince? Could that man still train under you in the art of wielding a hooked goad while riding an elephant? Sir, if he had even a single one of these factors, he couldn't train under me, let alone all five. What do you think, Prince? Suppose a man were to come along thinking, Prince Bodhi knows the art of wielding a hooked goad while riding an elephant. I'll train in that art under him. If he's faithful, he'd achieve what he could with faith. If he's healthy, he'd achieve what he could with good health. If he's honest and has integrity, he'd achieve what he could with honesty and integrity. If he's energetic, he'd achieve what he could with energy. If he is wise, he'd achieve what he could with wisdom. What do you think, Prince? Could that man still train under you in the art of wielding a hooked goad while riding an elephant? Sir, If he had even a single one of these factors, he could train under me, let alone all 5. In the same way, Prince, there are these 5 factors that support meditation. What 5?
Okay, so this is very important. Now Buddha is teaching about 5 factors that support meditation, that decides when you are going to attain enlightenment. Okay, these are very important. Please listen very carefully.
What 5? It's when a noble disciple has faith in the realized one's awakening. The Blessed One is perfected, a fully awakened Buddha, accomplished in knowledge and conduct, holy, knower of the world, supreme guide of those who wish to train, teacher of gods and humans, awakened, blessed. They are rarely ill or unwell. Their stomach digests well, being neither too hot nor too cold, but just right, and fit for meditation. They're not devious or deceitful. They reveal themselves honestly to the teacher or sensible spiritual companions. They live with energy, roused up for giving up unskillful qualities and embracing skillful qualities. They're strong, staunchly vigorous, not slacking off when it comes to developing skillful qualities. They're wise. They have the wisdom of arising and passing away, which is noble, penetrative, and leads to the complete ending of suffering. These are the 5 factors that support meditation.
Sad. Okay, what are those 5 factors?
First one, he has confidence in the Blessed One.
Shraddha.
Shraddha.
Okay, Kalyanamitas, what is the first factor that support meditation? Shraddha, faith, confidence in the enlightenment of the Buddha. It's like that. Buddha asked Bodhirājakumāra, the Prince Bodhi, you are very skilled elephant tamer. If somebody comes to you to learn the skill, to be trained under you, shouldn't he have confidence in you as the teacher? Even for an ordinary thing, even to be successful in an ordinary field, you need to have confidence in the teacher. If you go to learn driving and you think you know better than the person who is teaching you, you will do whatever you want. That is the confidence, the meaning of the faith in the teacher, confidence in the teacher here. Even for an ordinary thing, you need the confidence in the person who is teaching you, right? So this is a very like extraordinary path, extraordinary training. After a long time, we try to follow this path. Maybe after eons and eons. So in this case, we need very good confidence in the teacher, because this is a very subtle path, very deep path. We cannot do what, like, as we do with other things. We cannot reject the teacher, and we cannot be disrespectful to the teacher. Then we will go astray, right? We should not add things to this path. We should not remove things the path. We should not add personal ideas to this path. Then we don't have confidence in the teacher, right? So that's why confidence is very important. Faith is very important about the discoveries of the Buddha, about the enlightenment. So that is the very first factor. What is the second one?
Confidence in the Supreme Dhamma.
That's no. The first one is Shraddha, confidence in the enlightenment. What is the second factor according to the sutta we just read?
He's feeling well and not ill. The person.
Good health. Good health.
Good health.
Buddha teaches, if you really want to achieve like very high results, you have to work now. You have to do the thing now before you get very ill. The good health is a big support for the path. Some people think, okay, I will start keeping precepts, observing 8 precepts when I am old. Now I have to go to work. Now I have so many things to do. So, right? But when I am old, I don't have things to do, so I can easily take 8 precepts. But that's not the path. Good health is a support. What is the third one?
Is it the digestive one, Bante?
Yeah, that's the second one. That's the second one. Good health.
Not deceitful.
Energy.
Second one is honesty. You are honest with the path, with the practice. You reveal your weaknesses to a knowledgeable Kalyanamitta or to a monk, to a teacher. You reveal your true nature. You are not a cunning person. If you are cunning, if you try to cheat your Kalyanamitta's teachers, you are not going to be successful. So that's the third one. Fourth one is energy, energetic. You are not lazy. You are energetic of developing wholesome qualities. Saddha, and the next one is health, good health, honesty, energy, and the last one is wisdom, right? You should be wise to see the impermanence, non-self of this life of dependent origination, 5 groups of clinging. So those are the 5 qualities. And then Buddha says, how long will it take for such a person to attain enlightenment? Can you continue read? Who is going to read next?
I can read, Bante.
Okay, please go ahead.
When a mendicant with these 5 factors that support meditation has the realized one as trainer, they could realize the supreme end of the spiritual path in 7 years. Let alone 7 years, they could realize the supreme end of the spiritual path in 6 years, or as little as 1 year, let alone 1 year. When a mendicant with these 5 factors that support meditation has the realized one as trainer, they could realize the supreme end of the spiritual path in 7 months, or as little as 1 day, let alone 1 day. When a mendicant with these 5 factors that support meditation has realized one as trainer, they could be instructed in the evening and achieve distinction in the morning, or be instructed in the morning and achieve distinction in the evening. When he had spoken, Prince Bodhi said to the Buddha, "O the Buddha, O the teaching, oh, how well explained as the teaching. For someone who could be instructed in the evening and achieve distinction in the morning, or be instructed in the morning and achieve distinction in the evening." When he said this, Sanjikaputta said to Prince Bodhi, "Though Master Bodhi speaks like this, you don't go for refuge to Master Gautama, to the teaching, to the mendicant Sangha. Don't say that, dear Sanjikaputta. Don't say that. I have heard and learned this in the presence of the lady, my mother. This one time the Buddha was staying near Kosambi in Koshita Monastery. Then my pregnant mother went up to the Buddha, bowed, sat down to one side and said to him, "Sir, the prince or princess in my womb goes for refuge to the Buddha, the teaching, and the mendicant Sangha. From this day forth, may the Buddha remember them as a lay follower who has gone for refuge for life." Another time the Buddha was staying there in the land of Bhagas on Crocodile Hill, in the deer park at Bisakala Wood. Then my nurse, carrying me on her hip, went to the Buddha, bowed, stood to one side and said to him, "Sir, this Prince Bodhi goes for refuge to the Buddha, to the teaching, and to the mendicant Sangha. From this day forth, may the Buddha remember him as a lay follower who has gone for refuge for life. Now for the third time, I go for refuge to the Buddha, to the teaching, to the mendicant Sangha. From this day forth, may the Buddha remember me as a lay follower who has gone for refuge for life."
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. We appreciate your Dhamma reading and bless you.
Thank you.
Okay. Isn't that beautiful?
Very beautiful, Bhante sound.
Yeah, I just wanted to wanted you to hear that the last part of the sutta as well today, even though we discussed many things. So Prince Bodhi was actually follower of the Buddha, and he went for refuge to the Buddha even before he was
When he was a baby before.
even before he was born. When he was inside mother,
inside mother's womb.
he became a follower of the Buddha. And can you imagine the faith in Bodhi's mother? Because that mother went to the Buddha when she was pregnant and said, "Bhante, this baby in my womb, I don't know whether it is a boy or a girl, but the baby goes for refuge to the Buddha." And what happens is when the baby is born, as the time passes, when the baby can understand, the mother would always tell that baby, "You know, my dear son, you are a follower of the Buddha and you have gone for refuge to the Buddha. Do good things, keep precepts, you know, be kind, practice meditation, do loving kindness." So that son, that boy, always gets the idea that he is a follower of the Buddha, so he has to do good things. He has selected the Buddha as his guide, as his teacher, the great teacher, the master. And when he was a little boy, his grandmother actually took him again to the Buddha, had him worship the Buddha, and said, "This Prince Bodhi, this boy, goes for refuge to the Buddha for the second time." And this day, after this Dhamma discussion, he went for refuge to the Buddha for the
third time.
For the third time. So he was a very good, faithful devotee of the Buddha. Beautiful, beautiful sutta, isn't it?
Very beautiful. Sound.
Yeah, so those 5 qualities are the powerful qualities. Like it happened in the time of the Buddha. Some babies, there was one son, he came to the Buddha. The parents took him to the Buddha when he was 7 years old, and Buddha gave him the instructions in the morning, and when it was afternoon, he was already an enlightened monk. That's the power of those 5 qualities. And some good karma, powerful good karma coming from past lives as well. support definitely. So those are the, if you think, okay, why we haven't attained enlightenment yet? Because of lack of the strength of those 5 qualities. Okay, lack of faith, I don't know about health, but laziness, and not honest, not 100%. And then lack of wisdom. Yeah, so that's a very good one. So don't, especially don't be don't delay the practice, because now in this sutta we can see clearly the good health supports a lot. Faith, energy, wisdom. Okay, any last questions before we do the merit sharing?
Bhante, may I ask you about the digestion, Bhante? It's like nor too cold, like neither.
That means those are the kind of different phrases to explain the healthy body.
Oh, I see. So healthy meaning the mental and physical, Bhante.
In this case, it's mostly about physical health.
Right. Thank you, Bhante.
Normally in the suttas, when Buddha explains about good physical health, he would use those phrases. You know, he has a very good digestion system. It's not too cold, not too hot, means that you can eat anything. You won't have diarrhea, or you won't vomit, you won't get sick. You are healthy. Those are the phrases.
Bhante, friend Nalini has her hand up. Please go ahead.
Ask you a question.
Bhante, I have a question regarding karma. Does good karma, does it assist the mind or the soul? Where does it get recorded?
Good karma?
Yeah. Does it assist the mind or the soul?
Oh, good karma.
Where does it get recorded?
It's recorded in the sankhara. Sankhara means one of the groups of the 5 groups: form, feeling, perception, formations, and aggregates. The karma is always connected with sankhara. Chetana aham bhikkhave kammang vadami. I say volition is the karma. So in our the volition process, it's called group of formations. That's where the karma is stored. It's not a physical place to see, but
okay.
But it's a component of this life, you know. Like one component of this life is the physical structure, the body. Another component is feeling. Another component is perception. Another component is volition or thoughts, thinking process. And another component is consciousness. So those are the 5. So sankhara is related with the karma.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So whatever we do, we cannot escape from that, good or bad. It will come behind us like a never departing shadow. So it's because that karma eventually links with the consciousness. So when we are reborn, we will have a new life of these 5 things: physical structure, feeling, perception, thinking, and consciousness. So now consciousness and thinking process, all these things, you know, come together. All the 5 come together. So the karma background is there. You cannot say, okay, I did those karma in this life, but when I get a new life, it should be completely new. No, you cannot say that. Every time when we are reborn, there is a karma background coming from our past lives, because they are interconnected. That means that karma that we accumulate throughout this living should be stored up somewhere, right? And that's the thing. Sankhara, Chetana is the field of karma. The new life, Buddha explains the new life, a simile for the new life. It's like a seed on a ground. Seed is the form, feeling, perception, and volition, thinking. This is the seed. This is the field, this is the ground. And the Buddha says the fifth one is the consciousness, is the seed. Craving is the water. So as long as water is supplied, the seed gets wet, the field, the ground gets wet, and the seed is growing. See how beautiful the simile is? As long as we have craving for sights, sound, smells, tastes, tangibles, and thoughts, the tree of life is growing from life to life, life to life. What is the tree of life? Suffering. So our effort here is by following the Noble Eightfold Path to cut off that craving. So then if we stop putting water, what will happen to the seed? It will die.
It will not grow.
It will die. So that would be the ending of regaining of 5 groups of clinging. That will be the ending of gaining another body that is subject to aging, subject to sickness, subject to death. That will be the ending of the regaining of feelings. That is always subject to change, from pleasant to unpleasant, from unpleasant to neutral. That will be the ending of the regaining of perceptions, volitions, and consciousness. So that's how a wise person would attain Nibbana. Okay, so today we finished learning the Bodhirājakumāra Sutta from Majjhima Nikaya. I encourage you to, don't you like to read beautiful suttas like that?
Yes, we do, Bhante.
Did your parents take you to the temple, and before you were born, did they tell Bhante, I don't know, a baby or a girl in my womb, but he or she go for refuge to the Buddha from this time on, is a follower of the Buddha? Did your parents say that?
Unfortunately not, Bhante.
When you were reborn, did they tell you, dear son, dear daughter, don't forget, you have gone for refuge to the Buddha, you have to be good, you have to be nice, you have to keep precepts? Did they tell you? No, what they said, you had to pass this exam, you had to pass that exam, you had to enter the university, you had to collect money. See? So he was lucky. Maybe all of them now have, maybe they are still in heaven and following the rest of the path, attaining the stages of enlightenment. Maybe they already have attained Nibbana and attained final passing away. We don't know. But we can see very clearly their confidence in the Buddha, right? The whole family. Yeah. So may all of you have that fortune to attain enlightenment by practicing those 5 qualities. And we share all the merit today we generated by reading the Dhamma, listening to the Dhamma, practicing meditation, discussing the Dhamma, and going to India pilgrimage, and all this good merit we share with our teacher Luk Swami Wahanse. Sadhu, sadhu. We share merit with all the deities, and may they also attain enlightenment. Sadhu, sadhu. We share merit with our parents, our teachers, friends, family members, sons and daughters, with all the Kalyana Mittas. May all of us enjoy long life, good health, and practice wholesome qualities, and achieve the end of suffering, freedom from suffering, supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu.